Hello. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here and then we'll get started. Alright, I'm gonna post the stream in a couple other spots and we'll be good to go. Alright, we got some 9 people in here. Probably a couple more people might join in a little bit, but I'll go ahead and get started. Have any questions, just put them in the comments. And we'll get started with Bitcoin here. So for Bitcoin, this is a chart I messed around with yesterday just to kind of show everybody how harmonics work. And I took it all the way back, right? So, I mean, I didn't do too much back here, but the thing that started the entire bull run is we had like a nice pattern over here. We had that, or we had one right here too, which was legit. We had a cipher here that pretty much sent us all the way up. And then when you zoom out, we had a bunch of other patterns here that happened too. I mean, even right here, there's another harmonic. But we had this big one up here, which was a butterfly that called the top right here at the pretty much the 1272 on this. So this would be the 1272. So pretty much spot on, called the top. And this should be a 786, close enough. You have that pattern that hit there, and then we nuked all the way down. Right here you had a bat that formed. So stop loss should have been right here under this X right here. On this bat, you would have entered here, stop loss under the X, and look, you would have been able to hit the run all the way back up on the macro level. And then you could have even waited for another harmonic in this area to get in, because you had a perfect bat right here, a 0.5 and 886. So you would have entered at D, stop loss below X, and you would have been good to go to ride this thing up the whole way. Then you have a bearish butterfly here with a 786 again, just like this one, close to the 786, right? So had a 786, you had a 0.55 retracement, close to a 0.5, and then it can go to a 1272, 1414, or 1618. Instead, we hit the 1272, and we reversed right around the 1272. So you had this butterfly, and then you had a mini butterfly right inside of that, right at the end, that called the top on Bitcoin. Then the Gartley. The Gartley is probably the strongest harmonic pattern that you have. It's supposed to be like a 618, so basically right here, close enough, right? It's just a wick. It's not like a body of a candle that closed way up here. So this is a Gartley pattern. You had a perfect 886 retracement, and right at that 886 you go up and you have a 786. So this is your 786. You hit that 786, you literally tagged it. You could have placed short bids right there at the Gartley completion zone, and you could have been chilling pretty hard right here all the way down. You zoom in even more, there's a couple others right here that were bearish that sent us down, especially this one right here. So you had a cipher, so this should be like a 382, which is very close, right? A 382, and then this is a 786, and you could have shorted right here and held the short all the way down. So we're going down here just to show you this is another butterfly. These things hit pretty hard, man. They have that deep, like, kind of landslide up or down, and then just completely reverse on them. So you had a 786, up to the, instead of 1272 like the other ones we saw, we had a 1414, and we hit it almost perfect. So right from there is when we started to decline. And then we have this shark pattern. We had a shark pattern, and then we also had kind of like a deep crab at the 1618 too. That looked kind of like this, I believe. I'll have to check. 1618. Yeah, so very similar on this one. It's a little hard to see because I have it pretty light right now, and there's a lot of patterns here. But the 1618 is right here. So you have this 1618 that coincided with the 886 on the shark, and your buy zone would have been right down here, right around like 18.4. And sure enough, if you placed any bids at 18.4, I mean, you caught the wicks into it. You caught the wicks into it. And your X or your B point should be right here. Your X or your B point is right here. So you always mark that, because on your harmonic patterns, that's going to be a support over here, or resistance, right? So you could see we kind of used it as resistance. We probably went up to the body of the daily candles, or very close to it, and got rejected off of it. So like right here. But we're above that now. We're above that area. So you can see how like the daily candles, the top of it, kind of like touched it and it came back down, touched it, came back down. But now that we're above that, that's what I was saying to a couple of my friends yesterday. They're like, they saw this nasty candle that wicks up and comes back down. I'm like, you are hovering above the X and the B point of these large time frame harmonics that brought us up. That is not bearish. That's gonna at least hopefully let us push to these lower time frame harmonics and get rejected here before coming back down. So where we're at now is we're above this. I think if we hold above this, we at least push to this D point at 21.8. 21.5 is a pretty big resistance, because this kind of coincides with the harmonic that we have from over here. So if you wanted to mark this area, the B point is actually perfect with this harmonic at the 1618. You see how this B point right here, this wick right here, where the B point on this harmonic is, if you tag that over, it lines up perfectly with this butterfly harmonic. So we know that's going to be a tough spot to push past, especially you have these candle wicks here. It was resistance right around here, resistance here. So that's a spot to watch out for. It really is. Right now you're chilling at like the body, like at the body where the candle was right there. So if you kind of put it right at the daily body of the candles, so you have that here, you have body of the candles closing there, same thing. You're gonna see that we're getting rejected from that right now. So I do see us still pushing past that, whether it be if we come back down and then go up and hit it, or if we just go up, we hover, and then we tap it. And then we have a couple others. We have a bat right here that is calling for about 22.2, 22.3. And then we have a Gartley pattern. So this is about 23.7. If we come up and we tap 23.7, I think we see a nasty, or not, this isn't Gartley, sorry, this is a cipher. But and the reason it's the cipher is because this right here, the C point, a Gartley would have to be at 886, so it would have to be up here. A cipher is when it goes down past a 1.13 area, so like right about here, which is close enough, all the way down to 1414. So it could look like this. So it could have extended all the way down here and still been good for a push up to here, but the D point is the resistance, or the potential reversal zone. So these are the areas I'm looking for. And then to really break it down, you want to look at some of the indicators. You want to look at your MACD and then your RSI to kind of see where we're at. Anything above the 50 is good. That's when you're going to see like the biggest impulse moves up. Anything above the 60 is when things start to really get close to being topped out or overbought, as you want to say, yes, but at the same time, this is where you see the biggest impulse moves up. So for example, I mean, you could probably mark some of these and go back, and you could see that these are some of the biggest impulse moves that we've seen. yeah. So if we wanted to zoom out, when we got above on the 60 for the daily on the RSI, look at the impulse moves we got. This one was short-lived, right? Because it's close to the top, but look, that's an impulse move. That's a pretty big move right here. I mean, there's more too. Like we had one here, some impulses. So we are getting close to the top. I think before we get a pullback at least. But at the same time, I could see one more little impulse up on this. So we had a hidden bullish divergence that played out, and on the 4 hour at least. So we had this right here. The price was higher. So this means continuation right here. As you can see that basically the price right here was lower. Price created a higher low, but the MACD was lower. You can see how it kind of dips out below the previous MACD right here, which means continuation. And it happened over here too. Same thing, from here to here. Price higher low, MACD went lower. You're creating that continuation. The bears are trying to push it down, but they're not doing a good job at it. So basically what that means is continuation is going to go up. The momentum, you're still looking for continuation up. You could have known this impulse would have happened too. You had this little kind of like bull flag happening. And you basically just broke out of it, right? You broke out of that, but you could have known prior to probably breaking out of that, right here, before you even broke out of this, you could have saw that the RSI broke out right here and retested it before price even reacted. That's why I love the RSI, because you can actually chart the RSI and sometimes get a leading indicator on what price is going to do. You can use it for divergences. You can use it for just like creating the bull flags and stuff like that, or the descending wedges like this. And then when it breaks out, I mean, sometimes that happens before price actually breaks out. So that's an indication for a push higher. And not only that, you had these three these three bullish convergence going downwards. You have the MACD going down, which means continuation. When price is going like this, it means that that's a bullish divergence. So you're just building divergences here. I bet you if you turn on the bullish divergence indicator on the 1 hour, you could probably see them if I showed all of them. You're just building these divergences here. Right on the histogram, you can see here how we have this, then the indicator shows it as well. From the top of this, or bottom of this, to the top of that, bottom of that, divergence. So yeah, maybe we're hitting a little bit of turbulence now, but I think we still have a little bit more of a push up. It doesn't matter if we come down first or whatever. I know the end goal is to hopefully tap one of these. All right, let's look at the DXY because I haven't looked at that recently. And then I do want to look at probably Doge, Solana, because we started to get an impulse on Solana, Ethereum, and then I'm going to take some requests too. So if you guys want to throw some requests, I'll try to do it in order from whoever posts them inside the chat. Or you could reply to the stream on Twitter, and I'll try to do that as well. So just go ahead and think of some coins that you want to see posted, and then I'll start to go over those for you. But I'm going to go to the dollar first, maybe look at stocks like the SPX, and then Ethereum, Solana, and then I'm all y'all's. So yeah, look at this. We had a reaction this is a massive trend line in my opinion that if we break this, I mean, we could see the dollar like free fall. We really could, which would be so bullish for crypto if that happened. But we just have this massive trend line. On the lower time frames, we had a bearish bat, which I called for. I posted this on Twitter right when we were like right here, and I'm like, all right, the dollar's about to top out. I mean, it can extend up to the 886. I think it only got to like the 786, which is fine. But it's still a Fibonacci ratio. You could have taken your fib tool, fibbed from high to low, and you got rejected at your 786. Could have pushed to your 886. That's what it's supposed to with the bat, but close enough that 786 to 886 is your rejection zone. So you always want to put, I like to draw a little box in here sometimes if I delete the fib tool, in between the 886 and 786, and that should be your rejection zone. Sometimes you'll get wicks into it. Sometimes you will get a little bit past it. You'll go past it a little. Oh, wrong tool. You'll go past it, but your stop loss is supposed to be above your X. You might go past it, go like this, and then you reject. You get back in, and then you find resistance here, and then you go. So that happens sometimes too, and I can show you some examples if you guys want later for that. Welcome, man. Nice to have you here, Mario. So yeah, that's what we're looking at so far. We did get rejected. Posted this on Twitter. I said we're going to get some relief, and we're probably going to get some crypto pumps, especially if this is getting rejected, because it's usually inverse to crypto. And then as you can see here on the 4-hour, we have the bearish harmonic, but bearish harmonics or bullish harmonics are great if they line up with your MACD and your RSI for divergences too. So I saw that we had a bearish divergence here. You see that the MACD here was higher, right? And then it's lower here. And same thing with price, it's going down. Here you have a divergence going up with your RSI. So you have this divergence creating right here. And you can see it on the price too. This is a divergence. So you have going down, divergence going down here. Sure enough, this divergence played out, and you have the nuke that lined up with the harmonic. So now we're below the 50. When you're below the 50, that's when the bears are in control. When you're above that 50, that's when the bulls are in control. So that's a good way to look at it. You look at it like a football field. This is your 50-yard line right here. Below the 50, your bears are in control. That's where you see the biggest candles on the downward side. See how you broke below the 50 right here, right at the top. Look what happened after that. You have this, it just nuked, right? You break above this 50, look what happened. We hold above the 50 and we're just pumping up. And you also had this, right? So I saw this too. You could have just created a simple trend line right here. Once you break below this, right here, you have this divergence that formed here. So you're kind of in like this channel that you could say. Just something like this, just like a channel that you were in. You broke below right here, which means price is gonna fall. And you could have just lined that up, right? Look where that would have been. You would have known right here. So you would have known just to long some assets here because it's inverse, and you would have had some nice gains right there. Gigahoff? Where is Gigahoff? Should we do a thing together? Me and him do a YouTube together. All right. So we are, let's flip this over real quick. So that 786 right here kind of lines up with our trend line that we have. I would watch for a little bounce right here. So maybe go a little bit more risk off on crypto. Right here at that 786. And if you guys ever need to inverse your chart, you can hit Alt-I. So nice rejection here, holy shit. So you can just hit Alt-I and it'll inverse it for you. So for all you bull tards out there, just sometimes inverse the chart. I mean, it helps if you can't flip bias either way. I like harmonics because it tells you if it's going to go up or down. You have a bearish and a bullish, so it's not going to keep you one-sided. Yes, I'm still in Gala. So let's knock out ETH real quick. Let's knock out the stock market to see how we're going. And then from there, we'll do some of the requests, and I'll go over some of those coins that we were in. All right, so to go to ETH on the daily, I had this posted. I actually posted a snippet video of this bullish Gartley that we had. We can go back to even back here. What is this? September 10th. Price hit right here. I actually had this golden pocket at the 618 here, and I said, posted on Twitter, I'm like, we could reject here. I think we might. It's a perfect area to reject. If we do, we see 1230 at some point. And sure enough, I had buy orders here for ETH at 1230, at the 786, at the Gartley completion. This was a perfect Gartley. We had a 618, we had a 618, we had almost a 1414 and a 786. So that is almost as perfect as they get. So I had buy orders here at 1230. We also had a channel. So if you topped out here, you could have taken a channel, thrown it on these two highs, and then just pulled it down, right? So this is what I did as well, and it kind of helped with my bias. So you have these two tops, you take the bottom of the channel, you pull it down to this low you have here, and we have this harmonic inside the channel where we saw it bottom out here at the bottom of the channel and then completely just chop and reverse right on top of these candlesticks. And then we have this giant, just like kind of like bull flag you're looking at. It really is just like a giant bull flag just descending, and you see a breakout here, and sure enough, ever since then we've just been going up. And then on stream, I think it was a day ago or the day before, we see another little bull flag, another little channel here. So we have this channel, and price was right here when I posted this. I said we're gonna go up, we're gonna retest the top of this channel, and then we're gonna go. So it's called a break, hook, and go. It's when you break out of like a channel or a bullish pattern or something like that, and you retest it as support, and then you go. You always want to long the retest. This is the retest. Along the retest, you put your stop loss below over here, and then you should be good to go. If you get a couple more patterns and you see that we built some more support, then you can move your stop loss right, break even or right above your entry, and then just chill, not even worry about anything. Risk-free trade. So what do I have here? Why did I post that? Okay, I posted that because that's the 886. This is the area to watch out for. I think price is right here, I guess, when I did it on stream. So this is where price was, and I said your measured move, if you long now, you could probably get at least a 12% trade on Ethereum on it. So I just took from high to low here, and looked at the 886, and you can get the 886 by taking the golden ratio and squaring it twice. You square it, you get, or the 618, you square it, you get 786. You square that again, you get the 886. So that's where the Fibonacci ratio came from. But you can see right now how we're kind of rejecting from the 786. So that's where we're at. If we do, I mean, this would be so fucking bullish if we did reject here. Long term, it would suck right now because we want a higher push up. But long term, if we reject right here, this would create a butterfly pattern in the future, which is your 786. You could come down all the way to an 886. I don't know if we would. Shit, even if we came down to an 886 and we retested the top of this channel, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could. Then this can extend up to the 1272 right here, your 1414 right here, or your 1618 right here, and you can get that just by taking the fib tool, high to low here, and then seeing where it's at. So that would be crazy, right? If we did nuke, I mean, this could nuke only as low as the 382 and still be legit. So this could be right here. It could literally nuke to just right here, the one about 1500, and still be a legit pattern that would push us all the way up here. I mean, how much fun would this be if we had another just move like this on Ethereum? So that's something to watch out for. Divergences. Oh yeah, so we had, when we were looking at this channel on the last stream, so we have this channel right here. We also had a, as you can see here, we had a pretty much a channel on the RSI, which was nice. Kind of like a wedge, we deviated out here. But we just had this channel here too. We could have also drawn it like this. It's probably how I think I had it. And you could have just seen that we broke out right here. And look what happens. You broke out right before price did. We didn't even get a retest here. But you could see that we were breaking out. And I think that's lines up perfectly where I charted last stream. So I'm like, we're going to break out of this fucking channel. And then we broke out. We got the retest. We don't see the retest on the RSI on the 4 hour, but we did get the retest in price right at the top of the channel. And then we mooned up. So you could have scalped that. I mean, if you would have scalped it, at least a 5% move. Right now, it does look like a little bit of a bearish deviation on the 4 hour, so we could see a pullback here. It might be a slight pullback. Yeah, look at that. It's like a round and top almost. So we need to break out of this. If we don't break out of this, we're gonna pull back here. Personally, I could see ETH and Bitcoin pushing up a little bit higher. I think we push up higher. If we reverse in this zone, that's fine. I don't want us to reverse fast. Just let us chop in this zone and just let alts have a play day. Like, just let them go crazy. We can just chop, take a little bit of time, fuck with some people, try and trade ETH and shit. Be crazy if price went like this, right? And just chop and just not completely nuke on our face, then all the alts are gonna have a fun day, man. They're gonna keep pumping like they are. Some of the ones that are lagging, you can just long those and then just sell which ones that pump. But sooner or later we're gonna have a pullback, because on this daily we are starting to form some nasty deviations on the MACD that are starting to build up. I mean, you can see here how we had pretty high on the MACD here, and we started to really get high up there. And then once you started to see it come in momentum down like this, should be the wrong tool. Should be using the polyline. But when you start to see it come down like this and just slowly slope down, that's when you know we're gonna start to nuke a little bit. And same thing here. I mean, you had a hidden bearish divergence here because this price is a little bit higher on the MACD, but the price is still lower over here. So that's how you could have known that we were going to nuke again. And then you have this massive just bullish divergence that took a little bit of time to play out, but it did, right? Ideally, what would happen is if you came down and just turns red a little bit, you get, and it only comes down to like right here, and you get a nice little trigger wave, and price momentum still going like that, you can just send Ethereum straight up. Yeah, let's go over Solana real quick, because I did call the bottom of Solana on Twitter. I posted this is my plan. This is where I see Solana bouncing from. This is where you want to put your longs in. This one I have the fib spiral on, just because it's pretty interesting sometimes when you can go from high or from low to high right here, but you want to keep this dashed line on a trend line. So this was our trend line that we kept it on. So I just took it, the fib spiral, we took it and we went along the trend line from high to low. And then you can kind of see how it uses Fibonacci numbers as well, which is nice, which I have to add the 886 in here. I don't know why it's not in here. I thought I added it. I'm not going to use this shit. Alright, so we got the 886 added in here. And you can see the 886. It reacted off it a few times, which is nice. Okay, cool. Let's go to one without the fib spiral for you. But I have this posted on Twitter, and there's going to be some more patterns too. I'll get rid of this giant bearish one for now. This giant bearish one can extend all the way up to the 886, which is up here, and still be a bearish pattern that could bring us down to the 1272, which is where it's at now, the 1414, or the 1618. I mean, it could extend us all the way down to here and still be a perfect bullish pattern where you'd want to long down at 11.5. So I don't think we're out of the neck, like we're not out of danger yet. We still could nuke. There's still a lot of things going on in the world that could send us down with one of those like just crazy events that happen. And this can extend all the way up to the 886. So I mean, in my opinion, we still could be bearish until we break this level at 48 bucks. But this is going to be a strong resistance right around 48 bucks. So we could still be bearish, and this whole pattern would be legit all the way up into that. But in the meantime, let's get rid of this pattern. Let's look at this shit. So right now, I'm just going to leave this line because I know what it's for. All right, right now we had a Gartley that brought us down over here last time. So caught the top pretty much to the dollar. I think it was a few cents short, like 15 cents, but this is the area you wanted to short. You could have fibbed here, high to low, in between that 786, which is where the pattern completion zone is, and the 707 is your potential reversal zone. So right here, I actually had an alert set that was forever ago that I knew as soon as we crossed into that zone, that's where I want to start building my shorts. I want to keep my stop loss above my X at $54. We don't over leverage here, so 54 bucks we can do it. And then from there, we just nuked, right? Your first target, you would have taken a fib level, you would have thrown it the opposite way. First take profit would have been your 618 right here, and then you would have had your 786, which would have been right here. This is your 786, so you would have taken your profit, you would have gotten out of your short, which is what we did, and then look for the 886 for a potential reversal, 786 and 886. So we hit the 886 right around 28 bucks, and then we completely reversed. So right now we have a couple smaller patterns on Solana that are calling for a reversal with your stop loss above your X. So we're gonna see if these play out. These are bearish patterns. You have a bearish Gartley here and a bearish cipher, both at the 786. It looks like this might have extended up to the 886 area on both of them. So what the fuck did Hyper Bitcoins or Duck call these? He called them it's like a Gartley, but when it extends to the 886 like a bat, he called it like a Bartley or something like that. He kind of put them together. But yeah, your 886 is here. You extended past the 786. Even if you entered in the 786, you'd still be in profit right now on this short. But yeah, so we're gonna see what happens. We could come down, maybe find some more momentum here. But if we do extend past this, you would want to be looking for larger time frame harmonics starting from here. So let's go ahead and take these off for now, because we have them marked out where they should be, right? We know what they are, at least I do. And then look for some larger ones, because the macro harmonics might play out. These might just create some short time resistance, but if you have a macro harmonic, that's going to play out over your smaller harmonics. The smaller harmonics just might create a little bit of resistance along the way, but these macro ones are going to be the ones that are actually going to be, which is going to be your 886 here. So this is a shark pattern. The shark is between a 382 and a 618. This can extend between a 1.13 and a 1618. So this could have extended all the way down to a 1618. And then the 886 is where you'd want to short on this, or the 1.13. So it can extend to either 1.13 And if we still nuke from there, this other harmonic, the Gartley, would still have been legit this whole time. You could have just held it. But yeah, so let's look at the 886. This would be another big resistance zone and a legit pattern on the macro level. So I'll probably try to take a short here if we do extend all the way up to this, because this is a huge pattern. This is a big pattern. These play out. So we're looking at like $46 Solana if we get up here. Let's take my alert. Let's run it down a little bit. Let's put our alert right here at these candlesticks, right? The macro, bro. Yeah, this is more like micro macro, but at the same time, we could like zoom out. I buy my spot. I don't really chart my spot that often. I just know my targets. Like, you don't have to chart the macro a ton. If you know what your targets are, I literally have every single asset that I want to buy, the price I want to buy it in my head. So like Gala, for example, I wanted Gala under 3 cents. We got Gala under 3 cents. It was from a hack. I don't care how it gets there. I'm going to buy it. And I have my targets. So I have those memorized. So I don't have to chart the macro all the time. I like to chart intraday or maybe a week or month out on these levels. So anything on the daily, the 3-day, weekly, 4-hour, anything like that. You won't see me on like the minute to like 15-minute. Really, I don't chart that. I don't have time to zoom in and look at my screen on a 1-minute chart and be over leveraged and have to worry about one wick like liquidating me. It just doesn't happen. Crypto's volatile enough. All right. So we have the bullish convergence here. We had MACD lower, price just kind of MACD going like this. Same thing with price went like this. So you're creating a bullish divergence. You turn on the bullish divergence indicator. You can see on the MACD, it shows that we had a bullish divergence. You can see it on the MACD. Perfect. I mean, you even have one right here. This one didn't really play out a ton, right? But it did play out. And you can see here on price, and you can see here as well. It shows the RSI. You had a divergence on the RSI. Same thing that happened. Bam to bam. It's higher. Price goes lower. You create the divergence, and you go. What are the chances of Solana breaking out? I mean, dude, it can go all the way up to 47 here. The one thing that I did notice on Solana that you can really... So let me see if I have a naked chart that'll help. All right. This is what I want to see happen on Solana. It's not a bad place to go risk off. It really isn't. And then get back in on the breakout. You might miss out on a little bit of gains, right? But you're protecting your capital. So look at this trend line that we have. Literally taps it fucking perfectly. And you have this horizontal like channel that we've been in. And look at so you have the tops that line up almost perfect, the bottoms that line up almost perfect. And then look at the midpoint. This is the midpoint. You can see that we have some rejections here, some supports, some rejections, rejection, rejection. I personally think we can send to the top of the channel, which was like that 47, 48 area that I was talking about with the harmonic. But we want to see price break out, retest, and then go. So it doesn't hurt to get out, protect your own capital, and then wait for it to break out again. You retest, you can get back in on the retest. Because right now it's the same, right? Under here, you're risking drawdown. So you could lose some capital. If you just got out like right at this trend line, and just waited for a clean break, you could have gotten out, say, right around 37, and then you just wait for a breakout and a retest, and you get back in at 37. Everything in between, you don't deal with the stress of any drawdown. It doesn't fuck with your mental. But for me, I'm looking to potentially getting along on Solana. Other than like the spot buys I had down here, right here. Give me a breakout of this. Let me see something play out more on the macro level. 786 maybe. Let me see a macro level breakout. And I'll get some targets going out on Solana that would look like something like this. Give me a breakout of this. How long here? I'll take some profit off, probably like right around this level, right at these daily candlesticks, right at the top of these. I'll look for right at the top of this channel. But I'd probably get out here. But I would look for some of these to take profits. I would get in here. I'd put my stop loss below this. And I would look for some pushes higher. I mean, and just wait and watch the divergences, see how price reacts, and go from there. But give me that breakout first and let me see what kind of trades I can take. But right now we're hitting resistance, so I would be risk off here. How crazy would this be if SPX played out on this cipher pattern? It would be a perfect cipher. It would get everybody so fucking bullish again. Literally so bullish. Why? Because you have trend line here. So you're gonna have all the trend line traders waiting to break this to get in here to long this, and then you have this giant fucking macro bearish cipher at the 618, 786, 1.13, and close to 1.272 right here. So you hit this and then you just completely reverse all the way back down. So you have all these trend line traders, they're calling for all-time highs, especially once you break this. They're like, oh, look at this bull flag that we have. We're gonna go out on the macro level. They're calling for all-time highs when you get right here, and then we just reject and we just fucking drop it. It would be nuts. But if we get a push up to here, I mean, crypto is gonna go wild. We're gonna have a nasty bear market rally. I mean, we are. We're just gonna have a good rally. So this is a massive resistance area up here, 4,500. That's a massive pump too for the stock market. Not sure if we get it. I have it marked. It's about a 20% pump. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens. There's also levels lower that I'm looking at too, with a bunch of other harmonics. But in the meantime, we are pumping. We do have like a smaller channel that we broke out of here. We might have some other harmonics. I haven't really looked at it a ton recently, but we did break out of this for a little bit of bullish momentum. It looks like we are forming a potential another bearish harmonic here. If this took us to the 0.5, it did to the 0.5, so the 886 would be where I would expect us to go next, which is like 4,200. I mean, this can, remember, this can also extend to the 886, so we could come all the way down here and it still be legit, which is fine. But ultimately, I think we're coming up here, and if you mark that with the bat pattern on the 886, look at the resistance that you see here. You have candlestick, bottom of this candlestick, bottom of this candlestick. You get some daily closes area. Same thing. I mean, this is just going to be a strong resistance, and it lines up perfectly with the harmonic that we have here. So look for 4,200 as a resistance as well. Crypto is going to react when stocks hit this. So we're going to go from there. Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, it'd be interesting because you would probably see something like, in my eyes, I like to use harmonic sometimes to just predict how time moves and price moves. So let me change the color of this in a second. Let's say we get something like that. That would be kind of like a 786 or so. Say you come back down to here, you test the golden pocket right around this, and then you would get a 1272 probably. So you would have a cipher that would line up with this. Let me change the color of this. And this is just me predicting how price moves sometimes based on support and resistance. Before I learned harmonics, I did just regular support and resistance, price action, and just to see how like price would move. So say this pattern plays out, right? Say this does pump up to here, you get rejected, and you come back down, right? This could go to your target of this red harmonic, at your target, reverse at the golden pocket, which is your 618, and then create like a bullet or a bearish butterfly, and that bearish butterfly is going to line up with your cipher as well. So you have a double resistance harmonic at your D point. So it's kind of predicting, but I do that sometimes just to kind of see how price would move and how it will move. And if that happens, this is going to be a massive resistance. Say we pump up to 42, we come down to, this can be anywhere between a 382 and a 886. So we can just mark this with the box just to say this is your reversal zone that you'd want to hold. So you can go here to an 886, and you're going to want to see if we reject up here at the D point for this box to be a reversal zone, this area as a reversal zone to pump up to the D. And you can always just extend this to see if it lines up with any significant support over here, and it does. So see what happens. And if that happened too, if you look, let me get rid of some of this shit. Say that does happen, you would have an inverse head and shoulders, right? So you'd also have the inverse head and shoulders crowd calling for new all-time highs, because you have this inverse head and shoulders playing out on the macro like this. Say price only comes to like the 786 or something, you have a inverse head and shoulders. This would be your neckline breakout area right at these harmonic completions, and then it just wouldn't go. I mean, it just wouldn't go. Or it would break out and then just reject down because you have these massive bearish harmonic patterns here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I play crypto just like the stocks. I mean, if the stocks are nuking, crypto is probably going to be nuking too, and vice versa. I have a pattern chart in Bitcoin versus the stock market, and right now it's bullish. It has a bullish Gartley, which is the strongest, so it looks like crypto should be pumping more than the stock market, and it has been. All right. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm gonna be right back. So grab some water, take a break if you want. I'll be right back very shortly. Come retest this one more time for me, please. I want to enter more if we can get a retest right here. All right, I'll be right back. right. Hello. I'm back. I had to grab some Uber Eats. All right, let's go over Matic. Let's go over Rose. I think somebody called for FDM and XTZ. So let's start with XTZ because that was called first. All right, there's a lot of shit going on with XTZ I have here, just potential patterns. Okay, so right here we hit a 886. So this is like an 886 area that you would want to see for a reversal. You could have just fibbed here, high to low or low to high, 886 right here. We wicked into the 886. We had one wick into the 886 and then we reversed. So some potential patterns that we have now. We have a potential shark, which is this blue one. We have a potential bat, which is this red one. And there's probably some smaller time frame ones on here too that I might be able to look into, but I'm more worried about where are we going to reverse on the macro. I should probably hide all of these patterns or I'll just go to a different chart. So we have a trend line that we're working on here that we respected, like a bear flag. We broke out of the bear flag. From the bear flag, macro harmonic, you'll have here probably close to a 618, yeah. So 886, 786 area. I would probably go with like a 786 here. So just a couple things that we could be looking for. I mean, you could even play it up here, which is probably a bat, which would take us way up here. And this would be a massive area to short, like right here. Like lines up perfectly on the daily when you zoom out. Let's go to the weekly. It's probably a weekly level. It is. So that harmonic lines up perfectly with like a pretty significant weekly level. And this might take a ton of time, right? I just want to mark it out for myself too if I'm ever trading. So we look like we're coming back for a retest here. So you might be able to just take a simple scalp if you get the retest pullback. Could probably take it like up into this candlestick easily for a 3-to-1 trade. Like the top of this range area. Oh fuck. This would probably be a pretty safe trade if you get a retest of this breakout here and then just ride it up to this area, 3-to-1. You could probably, that'd be a safe trade if you can get in down here on a retest. You might just full send it up there. Probably to that 0.5. I mean, we'll see if you get a pullback, but you could probably. This would also be a chance, but that's 2 to 1. I don't like 2 to 1 odds. This thing's gonna send though, I think, as long as crypto and Bitcoin behaves a little bit. Although I do think we're probably due for a little bit of a pullback or a flush at least, and before we send a little bit higher. Let's check my Doge prediction out. Oh wow, Doge might be in that point where it's like almost ready to send. I think I had this like right. Let me just hit Control Z before I fuck myself up. Yeah, so something like that on Doge. We're pretty close to what I was looking at. So we should start to send soon on Doge, hopefully. Which one on XCZ? Which one are you talking about, Sparse? I'm personally just riding Doge here shortly because I mean I have this fractal as well as some other harmonic patterns I can show you on Doge on why I'm bullish on Doge. But the fractals from over here, the price is doing the same exact fucking thing it did back in January 29th. Same exact fucking thing over here. It's literally like almost exactly the same. So I mean, look, you have this wick that goes up, like this giant wick. You have a giant candle first, then you have price that just slowly melts upwards, which is what we did. First we had a big wick, and now we're slowly melting upwards, which is what we're doing now. And then from there we'll probably come down and we'll chop until the end of the year, and then at the end of the year we'll probably just start to really fucking send it, and that's probably going to be when Elon announces that he's integrating Doge into Twitter. I'll go SHIB in a second. Let me finish up on Doge. Yeah, so that is not legit anymore. All right. I like this one better. It looks more clean. I've spent more time on this one. I have multiple charts. I look from different angles. All right, so we have the original Gartley, which is where I entered. So this was the first place I posted on Twitter to tell you guys to enter. If you guys entered here, not once has price came below your entry at 11.4, which is where we got in at to start. Then we had another one. I was a little bit more bullish up here because I thought we had another Gartley at the 786, which was like right here. So it did dip below. But either way, with the Gartley, your stop loss is supposed to be below your X. Some people decided to over leverage. They got stopped out of this position. Your stop loss has to be below 11. It has to, because your X is here. So if your stop loss isn't below this, you're not playing the legit harmonic that's up here. Even if it was a 786 that we posted, which was right here, if you can't handle this little bit of drawdown right under the X, you're over leveraged. So we did come down to the 886 instead. From the 886, I was seeing if we're going to hit another Gartley pattern here, but since then we have just kind of taken off. So what I did is I fid from high to low here. It looks like we got rejected at the 382. We came down into 2236. We're finding support here, and we might just start to move from here. First place that you can maybe take a little risk off is your 618, and then your 786, which is right around 15 cents. It looks like we're looking fantastic on the 1 hour. Like, we look fantastic here. This is just, oh, this is beautiful for me. We're just sloping down, right? We're just waiting to explode here on Doge. We're just waiting. It just keeps getting smaller and smaller to where it's just going to start to moon, and that's probably soon, honestly. Let's go up to the 2 hour. It might be a little easier to see for you. Yep, you see how price is just like sloping down like that? If we come get like a little bit of red here, even if we get a little bit, we might not even get it. It's just gonna moon. The 4 hour too, I mean, this is what made me so bullish. I have it marked on this one. This is my ad zone if we get it. What made me so bullish here is we just have this 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. So you can see here how you have the MACD. Why is this acting weird? Okay. So you have the MACD, how price is here. It's lower, right? But the MACD is all red. It's a lot. It's massive compared to this one over here. It's going down farther. The bears are really trying to push down Doge right now. But you have a higher low. Same thing over here for RSI. Relative strength index. They have the relative strength index is way down here, but the price is higher. You have a higher low still. So that's another hidden bullish divergence that the bears are really trying to fucking push it down, but they can't. I mean, there's just more buyers. The bears aren't strong enough to push this down right now, and it shows continuation. And this is a massive 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. These usually play out, and like when they play out, it literally sends this shit like 20 to 40%, which is what I'm looking for. Let's look at SHIB. Dude, SHIB's gonna pop off too. I mean, it's just a matter of time, I think. Because when you look at SHIB, for one, there's a massive harmonic on it. Alright, so let's start off. For one, there's a massive harmonic on it. You have a butterfly here. So the 1618 is like right here, which is close enough. I mean, you almost touched the 1618 bottom. The 1.414 is here. So that's your potential reversal zone on the 1618. You'd have fibbed high to low here. Oh, that's not a fib. High to low. Or low to high, sorry, to get the retracement tool. This would have been your buy zone for SHIB as a potential reversal zone, and you got in here. Anything in there is fucking amazing. But you really saw at the 1.414 area is where we found support, at this 1.414 fib. So right here is where you really found the support. So that's why I have it marked off. You found it here, you wicked into it here, you dropped below, and then you came back and you found it as support. Found it as support. And then you came back over here, and you have this X point, right? This is the X point of the harmonic. So that created resistance for over here when we have that one pump up into it. And now we just chilling below at the 1.414 again. So this is the completed harmonic, the 1.414, your 1618 should have been your macro, basically macro fucking stop loss. And then you just chill. I mean, right now we look good because you have this massive harmonic. On the massive harmonic, you're gonna have this breakout. And just look at this breakout. Let me get rid of. Look at this. Tap, tap, broke out, consolidating above. Not only are you consolidating above, but you have this support over here, like this just massive daily support that we have. You're sitting on top of the daily support. I mean, you are. So this is just a matter of time, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. Like, and you have price sloping up like this, dude. The price sloping up like this is just, it's crazy. When you see shit like this, and you have a trend line, and you have price just getting T-wopped fucking up like this, you're gonna fucking moon at some point. And it's gonna be strong. So, I don't know. SHIB's a good play. If you could have gotten in anywhere on top of this support, by the breakout, which is where I've been posting it about and just saying on my streams, just to get in right here, place your bids around like 12, I mean, 12 straight. Just place your bids, use a little leverage. I mean, you don't even need leverage. You can buy spot. This thing might be able to just like 2x or 3x in a fucking day. Hell yeah, 30x or nothing. Liquidation or nothing. Get yourself a new wife or no wife. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. It really does. And then what makes me so bullish on this too is you have your Bitcoin pair. Yes, this is where I'm in at. And I'm expecting a push up to here at least. Let's look at your Bitcoin pair. I don't know why it looks like this. I couldn't find any other Bitcoin pair, so if you can, let me know. But in the meantime, inverse head and shoulders. You have a neckline here. So this is your neckline. You have a bull flag here. You have a breakout. And a retest right on top of the breakout. And you're just consolidating over it right now. So it's just a matter of time before this really breaks out. And you'd probably see your first resistance right here. So you're either going to come down and reject from here, or if you come up and you break out of this, SHIB sometimes will just go straight up. So you might see it just go straight up without a retest. Or you get normally on normal coins, sometimes dog coins don't do what normal coins do. They just fucking go straight up. What happens if you'll just consolidate above this, and then you'll just really send it once you break out of like this neckline area of this inverse head and shoulders. So I'm bullish because not only do you have a butterfly harmonic pattern that's almost perfect on SHIB, you also have a breakout on the daily or the weekly even on the trend line for like 314 days on SHIB versus the dollar. And then you look at the Bitcoin pair and you have a bull flag with a breakout of the bull flag and a consolidation on a retest above the bull flag. So in my opinion, it's just a matter of time. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. I mean, that's just so many things lining up, and that's how I trade. You trade in harmony. You want to make sure you have a bunch of different things calling for this move up. So you do. I mean, you have the 3-day MACD looks like this. You know how talking about bullish divergences, right? Look at this 3-day. This is a 3-day bullish divergence. Three-day bullish divergence. Look at that. You're literally about to break out of this, so it's just a matter of time before we fucking send it. If we don't break out of this, whatever. You guys can make fun of me the rest of the time. Well, it looks like my short's in fucking profit. I took a little scalp on Solana that I've been eyeing for a while. Let me just get rid of that. Right at the 786 I entered. It got a little scary. I thought it was gonna like instantly get stopped out because I wasn't even at my computer. I think I was sleeping when this happened. But I'm in from 786. So like right about here, like 37. Sure enough, I had this posted forever going. Look at that. Nice. Nice. This is what we had planned forever ago. If you've been watching any of my tweets on Solana, it's just literally playing out perfectly. Looks like we're nuking straight down. Alright, so we got two trend lines now, and they both pretty much line up right here. So maybe we get a touch of the 1.118, 119 on Solana. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, if we came back up and touched, rejected, and then came down, this would be your buy or add zone. Let's see what happens here. We could just send it. But if we come down, that's where we're going. Right there. And that'll be what time? Like 1 a.m.? So they'd probably line up around 1 a.m. if we did get that. So we got plenty of time, just chill. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys aren't. I got a website I'm working on, and then also a Discord group too. So it's taking me a little time. I'm not good with Discord, and I've never built a website. I used to have somebody do it for me, but I'm trying to do it this time on my own because I want to learn how to do it, just so I can handle it all myself versus me having to pay a bunch of people for it too. It's good to know, right? If you learn how to build your own website. I'm probably gonna have to log off in like 15 to 20 minutes. Just, I gotta walk my dog. Grab a little food. All right, that's all I had to do to chart sushi, right? That's all we needed. That was easy. That's all you guys needed, right? Whoever wanted sushi. Bimmy? What up, Bimmy? You're the homie. What's up, pup? You wanna go out in a little bit? Yeah. Take you to the dog park. All right. Looks like it's reversal time. We're gonna flush some people out here. Oh, Matic. Hold on, I'm gonna check Matic. I'll go back to Doge for you. I got filled on my short with Matic too. I'm currently short Solana and Matic. I don't know if we get all the way down here. This is just ideally what my trade would play out to, but at the same time, I'm just gonna hold and see what happens. It's a Gartley, so usually we react from Gartleys pretty hard, and look, we did react really hard from this area, the 124. Then we also had this now, what time? 1, 2, 3, 4 bearish divergence. See, FTM I didn't trade. I was just saying that it has a lot of room to go up if it breaks out of that. It probably didn't break out of it, to be honest. No, it didn't. Probably was a good short too. I didn't feel like shorting. Was that a 0.5? I think right around a 0.5. So yeah, you probably see a pullback now, and then a go. Looks like a lot of coins are starting to slow down and pull back, so we might get one more push, we might not. But at the same time, like, I've been chilling. I've taken my trades. I've gotten in a couple shorts right now. There's a few that might still be able to push up. I think Doge is one of those. But we might have to come down on some of these and rest a little bit and then go for a little bit farther momentum up. IMX I'm still in. pretty much completed this Gartley. So you might see a pullback on this. But if this does extend, it'll go to the 1618, which would probably be right around here for our next resistance. I think everything's gonna pull back a little bit. Looks, I was eyeing looks. I scalped looks. I entered like 15 trades and just took profit on whatever pumped. I didn't take all of my profit, but yeah. I posted this on stream. We entered here. I did take some profit off this already though. I mean, that was a massive move. I didn't expect it to be like that fast. I took like 18%. I woke up and just hit sell. I still have like 25%, 50% of the trade in. I don't remember. Mask. I don't even want to look at mask, bro. I missed it. Can't really chart this, man. It's hard. There's not, it just went straight up. 786. So if this is a 786 and this is a legit pattern, I mean, you can be looking for something like this. Make it easier, you can just do this. Post it here, post it at the bottom. And just mark these levels because it's a butterfly. What you want to see is a pull down at least to like a 382 area or somewhere, like a little pull down, and then maybe full send it up there. I am not. Why? Carolinas? No. All right. I think I'm going to call it here. Yeah, I'm not from Carolina though, so I don't know where that comes from, to be honest. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hop off. I might post some charts later today. But other than that, thanks for joining, guys, and I appreciate it. But I'm gonna go do some things and go hang out outside for a little bit and see what happens with price. I think short term we could get a pullback, but right now, as long as Bitcoin stays above like 20,000, I'm still a little bit more bullish. But let's see if we get a little pullback, or if we're gonna just pull back a little bit and get everybody bearish and just continue upwards a little bit more. Because I mean, Bitcoin's not really pulling back; it's hovering there. So it's not like Bitcoin got a harsh rejection. Everything else did, but Bitcoin so far has not. So oh wow, that's just completed too. So this looks like, oh, that's not good for crypto. This looks like we could start getting a pullback here, because Bitcoin dominance, United States dollar dominance, and USDC dominance is basically creating a bullish pattern, which means that Bitcoin's going to take the money. People are going to go into dollars instead of crypto on this bullish pattern. So we'll see what happens here. And that's at the 1.414 here too. So that's dangerous. I would be safe here. Go risk off a little bit. I'm going to stay in Doge, because usually when Doge pumps at the end of everything, that's when you know the pump's over. So we'll see what happens. All right. Good luck, guys. Peace.